This review is presented by Koza MC, the unofficial Ratchet and Clank community manager. He's been really wanting me to shout his Twitter out, so there you go, I just shouted it out. Go follow him, the link is in the description. He's a cool dude, he's from the United Kingdom, so that means he's smarter than us. Go and follow him, the link is in the description, and also enjoy the review. There's no intro this time because I had to put this as the intro, so enjoy the review for inFamous Festival of Blood. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Gors Month of War number 14, and this time I am looking at the new DLC for inFamous 2. This is actually a standalone DLC, which means you don't need the original game to play it. This is Festival of Blood, which is of course a horror tie-in to inFamous 2. That means it has a bunch of horror themes, has the main character turning into a vampire and having to deal with a bunch of vampires in a setting called Pier Night. Of course, the game itself is set in a place called New Morays and has to do with a character that acquires electric powers and has to fight off this thing called the Beast. And I don't want to get into the plot of the actual game, but let's talk about the plot of this DLC. The plot of this DLC has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with inFamous 1 or 2, besides that you have the main two characters, Cole McGrath, the character you play as, and his friend Zeke, who, they're both two great characters. I'm just going to say it straight off. They're great characters. I really like both of them. I didn't like either one of them in the first game, but I loved them in inFamous 2. I thought they had a great camaraderie. I thought they definitely seemed like they cared for each other. They were friends, but, they were more brothers than friends, actual brothers, not like fucking, hey, I'm your brother because I'm your best friend. No, they felt like brothers. They don't look brothers. I mean, one's a fat Elvis guy, has Elvis hair, and one's a bald biker dude with electric powers, so, no resemblance, but they felt like it, and they're great characters. And in this game, Cole McGrath is just investigating some place, and out of nowhere, a vampire comes and bites him. Just like any other day. And he turns into a vampire, of course. But before that, these vampires pretty much drain him of some blood. And he's getting drained of blood on pretty much hovering over this corpse of some old woman, of course. And the blood drops onto her and she revives. This girl is known as Bloody Mary, who around the town is known as Bloody Mary, actually. But she's known to be a sadistic vampire killer, but she was always a myth. And of course she's not, she's real, and now you have to stop her. And of course that means you're a vampire, so you have to do this before sunrise, or you'll be trapped as a vampire forever, because the only way to become a human again, if you're a vampire, is to kill the one that turns you into a vampire before the first night ends. So that's the plot. So it's a really short DLC. It's about 2.5 to 3 hours long. You have a few missions to do and some side missions and a bunch of stuff you can do in the small part of the city that you get. I think you get 1/3 of the city in this DLC. It's only $10, and I gotta say, it's a lot of fun. It really is. All the powers you get in the game, some of them are new, some of them are old, but they're a lot of fun to play with. Also, you're a vampire, so that means you could drain people of life throughout the city. So if you need some blood, because of course you have a blood meter, you could just drain them of blood. It's a lot of fun, it really is. What you use the blood for, you get a bunch of different abilities. Like some of them you can like whiz by and go really fast and fly in the air with a bunch of bats that hover around. It makes sense when you play the game. It's actually the only ability, to be honest. There's one where you can fly around with a bat, or you can fly into someone and stake them. Also, you can stake other vampires that are around, because in this game you don't have the amp in the original, which is his melee weapon. You have a cross, and you could stake vampires, and of course get trophies and upgrades to your electric abilities, and so on and so on. So, I'm going to say this. The combat is a lot of fun. It is. Jumping around, jumping on rooftops and stuff, hovering. It's all awesome. It is. inFamous 2 is a great friggin' game. I love inFamous 2. I think the story is fantastic. But, I will say this. The story in this game, although likable, I really like the characters and stuff, it's forgettable. You know what's going to happen, Of course, it's just a side story. So it's just there for you to have fun with. So it's not a great story like inFamous 2's. I had a lot of unpredictable parts in inFamous 2 at least. inFamous 1 didn't really play the whole game, but inFamous 2 had a lot of unpredictable parts. This, predictable, but a lot of fun. The story is a lot of fun. The gameplay is a lot of fun. The game will last you about 3 hours, maybe a little bit longer because you have other additions like the move controls. If you have a move, you can try those out. They're a lot of fun. They actually work really good. I actually tried it out, and I really enjoyed it. You also have the user-generated missions that many people out there create missions and you try them out. And in this game, I heard you can make your own comic book panels or something like that. I did not try this out, but you can actually make your own user-created like comic books. I mean, comic book panels. I'm pretty sure it's like this. You have a already made panel and you put in your own dialogue or something. Then you start the mission. From what I heard, that's what you can do. And that seems really cool. But I'm terrible at doing the user-generated content missions because the UGC, as they call it. But because I'm terrible. I don't take time and stuff. I just make terrible missions. It's horrible. I'm bad at it. But I can see how people would love it. So you got a lot of stuff here for $10. So if you're a PSN Plus member, you get it for $8, which I am. I had a free trial, so I used it, and I got it for $8. So overall, I think it's a very fun DLC. It will last you for a little while. If you love inFamous 2, definitely give it a shot. The story's not fantastic, but pretty much everything else is a lot of fun. I will say this, though. The end boss is very frustrating because they just keep throwing vampires at you over and over again. And some of these vampires can shoot you and throw stakes at you and stuff. It's really annoying. But everything else was a lot of fun. So anyway, there you go. There's my review for inFamous 2's first standalone DLC, Festival of Blood. I will give it a straight up 4.00 out of a 5, or just a 4 out of 5. It's a fun little DLC. So anyway, there you go. There's my review. Also, if you want to check it out, I did a whole playthrough of the DLC. So I did all the campaign missions and stuff. And I also did the move compatible stuff. I just tried it out. I filmed it. And if you want to watch all that stuff, it's actually on my other channel. I'll link it in the description. It'll be the first thing you see. If you want to watch the whole thing or just watch a little bit of it, go ahead. Anyway, there you go. There's my review for the new inFamous DLC. Thank you, and goodbye.